evening, everyone, and welcome to the Midnight Ride with Gray Man Prepping. And I made it from the City Council meeting. I thought we were going to get out 10 minutes earlier, and they just kept dragging. Actually, the mayor said, "Has anybody got any more questions?" He wanted to get out there too, and then everyone started chatting, and no one would say, "I make a motion, we adjourn." All right, let me say hi to everybody here. Back up to the top. All right, so Mark was in with Mad Chick Acres first, then Sofa Survival is second, then Geeky Gardens, and then Diana. Let's see here. Then Chef Tech, Crew 1351, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight, Kaylin Strain. All right, so that's who's there on the side chat. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and get this other stuff here down out of the way so I can, hang on a minute. Hey, get this. All right, hide slide. Okay, now we're set up for next Thursday. Ready to start. Get rid of that. Close that. And get ready for the new stuff here. Let me get it brought up here. There we go. Oh, hang on. I got two new ones here that things to look at. Traffic stuff, so I don't need to put those in. Let's go down to the patch. All right, so we only got 12 news items. Hang on a second, almost forgot. Sure, yep, okay. And that's going in. There's the link. All right, got a couple more people coming in. At least the numbers up over there in the corner say so. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
All right. First news headline. I laughed so friggin' hard when I heard it. Californians who move away from California are finding the grass really is greener in the other states. Duh. Same thing with the people that are evacuating Washington, New York, Minnesota, and even Jersey. I mean, Jersey has some hidden property taxes, absolutely hellacious ones. But yeah, so that's the first headline. That one's good and done. So yeah, I'm gonna go and open that. There we go. But yeah. People find that out for at least 15 years. After high temperatures in Northern California, thunderstorms loom, temperatures to plummet, which means it's going to be coming. Which means they're getting hit with the thunderstorms. This is basically now. Let me look at the weather here. They're getting hit with the thunderstorms now. I had to bring up the weather for the staff sergeant. But yeah, so by Saturday, I'll get hit with the same storms that are hitting there. So from California, it had 800 and some odd miles up to me. It's going to be hitting me on Saturday, and it's going to be moving over into Montana, and then into the Dakotas, and moving down into Kansas, Nebraska, and it's not hitting the rest of the country there. So it's within it's going to be moving across the United States here. More rainstorms. All right, next one here was sent to me by Kaylin. Iowa considers new nuclear reactor project. And this one, is this the one I think it is? Is this the, I got to go into it here. I'm just glancing at it. So Des Moines, Iowa, bringing new type of nuclear reactor. Iowa could cost billions, according to presentation during the Iowa Nuclear Energy Task Force meeting on Monday. Going down, is this the one or not the one? I'm sorry, I'm because I've read several things. Different states getting going for nuclear power plants right now.
It'll take them 25 years to build one, so that's no help right now.
Actually, all right, it's not saying what type this one is.
How many types of nuclear power plants are there?
There's the new one is the molten salt, which takes used fuel from other reactors, uses it, and when it's done, there's no waste.
Okay. Are they going to go digging up all the stuff? They're going to go dig up everything they've already buried?
Yeah, it doesn't use. I mean, it doesn't have the output of the old ones, so it puts out less, but there's no waste. And they're just like, and so there's no waste to these things. There's no accidental China syndrome. So, anyways, that's there are several states that are looking into the molten salt nuclear power plants because they're using the waste product already, and they're getting paid to use the waste product. To me, that's a win-win.
Shouldn't have to pay them to use it. Just here, because they're paying to they're paying to bury the stuff. Just give it to them.
So basically, instead of paying this month to bury it, they're paying this month for the guy. Hey, here you go, use it. Yeah. And that's to offset the cost of building it. So basically, they're doing this. They're going to do that sort of stuff. All right, Kaylin talks about it here. Okay, so this is a. Yeah, and this could be the molten salt. If it is the molten salt, that's what it is, because they're smaller. They don't produce as much, but there's no waste. I love it. All right. Next headline, EPA moves to designate microplastics and pharmaceuticals as contaminants in drinking water. You mean
they're going to just remove it completely?
No, you mean they're going to disregard the money they were paid under the table to ignore it?
No, don't worry. They'll give you a what do they call it when something it's an allowable limit. Like, yeah. So it won't harm you if it's 28 parts per billion or trillion or 100 or whatever. It's fine.
If anybody is planning on visiting this weekend to the San Francisco Bay Area,
don't.
Traffic is going to be horrendous.
Yeah, because everybody's waiting in line for gas at $9 a gallon.
No. The main tunnels connecting what is called the East Bay to the Central Bay, in other words, Contra Costa County to Alameda County, and then from Alameda County across the San Francisco Bay Bridge. That tunnel, which is 3 big bores, multiple lane, is being shut down for repairs. Boom, shut down. They're doing it all. They're kicking it all. They're bringing in crews from all over the place to try to get it done in 2 days. But they're starting it Friday night. have it
Keyword
completed by
trying.
Sunday night.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. Keyword trying to get it done.
Yeah. Generally, but the Caldecott crews, when they pull from everywhere else, generally get done 50% quicker than what Sacramento gives them an estimate of. All right, next one here. I guess this headline, I really didn't go in to look at it because that's Trump accounts to debut soon. Here's to see if you qualify. And we read the full story. And I guess this is those six, the low income families and high earners, disparaging. They will.
Yeah, you get like $1,000 per child or something goes in an account, and you can start using it when you're 21 or 18 or something.
Yeah,
but only for investments, but not for, you can't just take the money out and go, go blow it on Vegas.
It's an investment account aimed at newborns, available to any citizen under the age of 18. So even if you're like 17, they can still get in on it to get money set aside.
Yeah, it's for college and stuff.
For college and stuff like that. I'd still say on stuff like this, Trump should have partnered with Mike Rose. Group. Basically, they're donating millions of dollars a year to send young people to trade schools. And they'll send them to trade school. They graduate from trade schools. They will also, Tammy Harder's here. They'll also get, line them up with jobs with companies that are part of the network. And a lot of times, these ones going through it in 5 years are pulling down over $100,000 a year by year 5. Told my son to get involved in that, but anyways, Trump's doing his thing on that thing that I talked about. I think it's about 6 months ago I was talking about this. The accounts for the youth. So yeah, all right. So let's see, next one. There was something. This was a generic one.
Generic or geriatric?
Well, basically, it's from Iowa Public Radio that Kaylin sent me, and it's got like 6 or 7 articles in it.
Oh, okay.
But the main one that she had linked onto is Palo. Mayor disputes report secret negotiations with Google to annex land for data center.
What about the 5 mile by the 25 square mile data center they're trying to put in Texas right now? Yeah. I mean, it's 25 miles by, literally at 5 miles an hour on a bicycle. It take you an hour to get to the other end of one side of the building. Take you 4 hours to go all the way around it.
Yeah.
Why do we need so much data? Oh yeah, AI.
Okay, they're also talking about the carbon pipelines.
Yeah, that doesn't work out well when one of those erupts and people die, but they don't know why.
Yeah, but there are groups opposed to using eminent domain for carbon pipelines. Yeah, so there's a big pushback on that. The Governor Kim Reynolds says basically that their Iowa Peers public employees retirement system is still solvent, and they Don't see any problems with it. Just that a couple of them were, yeah. Evidently, they caught the fraud very early. All right, you're going to get done with that one. So there's just some cute ones coming out of there, but there's stuff coming out. Like Ken shares this just to show that, hey, there's stuff you guys can find out going on in your state, your counties. Look. Oh, David used e-bikes 28 miles an hour.
Oh, great. Then it only takes you 15 minutes. Then it takes you an hour to go all the way around one building.
On that case, they'd probably use the electric cars that can go 65.
Yeah. Oh, wait. But it'll cost you too much because the data centers aren't paying for their electric. We are.
I did not get a chance to read this one from Kaylin. John Deere reaches settlement in class action right to repair lawsuit.
Oh, you read that the other night.
But I didn't go in and read exactly what all's going on it.
Oh, well.
I just looked at it and stuff, and John Deere has agreed to pay $99 million to settle the class action lawsuit, accusing it of monopolizing repair service by withholding necessary repair software and tools.
Shocker.
The settlement still requires court approval. As part of the settlement as well, Deere will provide farmers with digital tools needed to maintain and repair equipment for the next 10 years. Deere is still facing a separate lawsuit from the U.S. Federal Trade Commission on right to repair. Whoever the dipshit was at Deere says, hey, we can make money doing this. I bet he's been fired. Either that or he retired before they could fire him with his golden parachute.
His green parachute.
Yeah. No, his green and yellow parachute.
Yeah, whatever. I was going to say that too. Nothing runs like a deer when somebody's aiming something at it.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to here, and I only got 4 more to go here. Okay. I talked about the tomato sauce or tomato, not sort of like not really tomato sauce, but it's a mixture stuff. Anyways, we've had metal shavings in it. Well, evidently a company bought a lot of that sauce to put on their bread. Company Fischetta makes some amazing breads and stuff with different flavored sauces on it for, as a quick thing. You buy it in the store and you add a couple more things to it, toss it in the oven, and it's your side dish. Hang on, I need to go for the heavy duty one here. Woo! And so this was let's see what read the full story there. Fischetta bread distributed to 10 states, including California, Arizona, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Michigan, North Carolina, New Jersey, Texas, and Virginia. And so if you're in one of those states and you use Fischetta breads, those nice flat breads about that big, Yeah.
They sell most of that stuff in the freezer section, the Fischetta pizza and all the different.
Actually, a lot of the Fischetta stuff is not frozen. It's out in the fresh aisle there. And they deliver it daily. And yeah.
Not anymore. Here's an idea. Make your own.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, my wife, back when we first got married and first had the kids and stuff, that was one of her go-to. I'm too friggin' tired to make dinner. This is what I have for dinner. I'm going to sprinkle mozzarella cheese on it and the Costco Mexican mix grated cheese on it, and dump a bunch of pieces of pepperoni on there and stuff, and throw it in the oven for 10 minutes. The kids loved it. All right.
Okay, here it comes. Don't choke. No coughing.
Headline: Naked gunman.
It wasn't me.
Gunman at a Tesla dealership with a shotgun, waving it around, yelling, not making any sense, got tackled by 3 different agencies at the same time. They said, we ain't screwing with this guy. I mean, they just swamped and dogpiled this dude.
Is it a video or is it just a picture?
It just has the article on it.
Oh.
But I read that, man. I tell you, man, I just fell out of my chair laughing. Because when I worked for the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office, we did that one time. Only the gun he had was a starting pistol. All right. This is a good one. Let me get. I need some more information on it here. Exactly. Iowa Attorney General sues. Parent company of Instagram and Facebook. The parent company of Facebook and Instagram, which is Meta. So why don't they just change it from Instagram and Facebook to InstaFace? Anyways, basically for breaking Iowa's consumer protection laws by making sexually explicit content readily available to minors.
Oh, that's been going on forever.
Also claims that Instagram is addictive and promotes child porn.
X does it too. Twitter was doing it too.
Yeah. What I can say, what's interesting is on Facebook, I don't know how many people see it. Oh, I'll get a little message up there and stuff. And basically some spammer group thing went through and they just started sampling people, anyone that made comments that day anywhere, getting about 5, 6, 7, 1,000 of them and adding them to a group. If you click on the group, you get popped up right in your face, taking the entire screen, a naked photo that's not even decent stuff. Looking.
Yeah. Ooh. You've been added to this group. No.
Yeah. And so, it's like a leaving group. And once I hit leaving group immediately on the one I got 2 days ago, as soon as it popped up, boom. All sites getting ping, 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 ping. And I look at it. There's all these other people leaving the group. And I said, fine. Mm-hmm. There it is. Turn off notifications for this group. Disable chat. Yeah.
So it was 10 years ago today. A friend of mine comes running out of a house yelling, "It's a boy, it's a boy." Yeah, we'll never go back to Thailand again.
Yeah. All right. This one, I haven't heard of this coffee chain.
Of the what?
There's a coffee chain here in California, in California. Bay Area coffee chain plans to remove pride flags from all locations.
Well, it's not Starbucks.
A petition has been started urging the business to keep the flags up. And the company's thing is, no, we're removing all flags. not just the pride flags, not the we support the Ukraine flags. We support this. All of them are not to be. They're not to have any political flags of any type in their establishment. And this is Philz, PHILZ coffees. And as I say, it's just a short one on it. But yeah, to me, it's like, yeah, should never allowed it in the first place. And I think heard something about that before that. You know, one of the CEO, not the CEO, didn't make the decision. Someone from the marketing group made a decision to start putting flags up. Guess who no longer has a job? I bet.
Most of them.
All right, so that takes care of that. Let me drop that down. That's all the friggin' gnats. Gnats have just suddenly exploded again in the house. I'm not saying which grandson left the back door open.
No, they're not coming from your potted plants.
No, my potted plants had all those sticky things in it.
Oh yeah, the little yellow thing.
They were gnat free for about 2.5 weeks, and now I got a bunch. And the grandkids left the door open. It's like,
I know. I got gnats in the house right now because we got a frost 2 nights in a row, and I brought all my my potted stuff back in, and yeah, they're sitting in the kitchen, and every now and then I get a gnat fly past me on the computer. They love the computer screen for some reason. It must be the bright light.
Okay, I'm trying to remember which was the last one I showed. I know I showed the fraud glacier or iceberg. That was the I did that one. I did the what happens on the holodeck stays on the holodeck. I'm not sure, but I think this one here is the one. There it comes open. Yeah, this I've seen 6 variants of this one in the last since last week. Yep. That's not our fault, but we're going to keep it. So yeah, the wingnuts in Congress, $360 million for the jets and the cargo jet, blah 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 blah. Wait a minute, that was $7.8 billion in equipment that Captain Crazy left in. I just forgot the country now. When they pulled everything out, and they left military personnel that got, I think it was like 8 people got killed. Anyways, so yeah, the wingnuts have absolutely no comprehensive. Afghanistan, thank you, Galen and Tammy, thank you. And here's more. Yeah, so no, it's also Biden left 85 billion. Yeah, and guess which ones? Biden's leaving 85 billion and a disaster withdrawal that killed 13 service members. Well, that was a success, but Trump's was a failure because he brought everybody back alive. I haven't always agreed with Clarence Thomas, but I like this quote of his. Hang on here. Make it. I'm going to go right here. Since well before 1787, liberty has been understood as a freedom from government action, not entitlement to government benefits. Think about that. And again, I saw someone found George Washington's quote: "The Second Amendment of the Constitution said a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right, the right to the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." And George Washington's comment was, "A free people ought not only to be armed and disciplined," which is the well-regulated part, is to be armed and disciplined. That's what well-regulated meant. "But they should have significant arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which could include their own government." So back then, according to George Washington's thing, this is my take on it. That means we ought to be able to own military aircraft too, if you can afford it. This one I thought was pretty interesting. Dr. McHugh, former psychiatrist in chief for Johns Hopkins Hospital, Distinguished Service Professor of Psychology,
Psychiatry, yeah.
Psychiatry, has said transgenderism is a mental disorder that merits treatment. Sex change is biologically impossible, and people who promote sexual reassignment surgery are collaborating with promoting a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a quote I'd seen there seen on Facebook a couple times. There was another one going on. They were talking about genders and stuff, how many genders there were and stuff, and nobody had quoted it on there yet. So I put it on there. I got like 40 thumbs up in the first 10 minutes afterwards. There are 2 genders and an infinite amounts of mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we don't need more cameras pointed at citizens. We need more cameras pointed at politicians. On 24 live broadcasts. All right. Idaho is spending $950,000 to retrofit its maximum security prisoner for firing squads executions that could now include convicted child sex offenders. And I'm like, who the hell is pocketing $800,000? Because I could go in there with I could reform a company and go in there and for under $150,000 build an indoor gun range. Oh, we're just gonna put them right here. Oh, wait a minute. Then we could also have a lottery at $25 a pop to see if you get one of the members on the squad. It pay for itself the first year. There's another one nearly fell on my chair laughing at because it was so good. A reality show where socialist college students are sent to a country that closely resembles their desired political system and left to survive for a few months. How long would they last?
About 2 hours.
How long before they're screaming and crying to come home? Yeah.
2 hours.
It is called communism survival.
Yeah. That's a contradiction in terms.
All right, so this picture here, if you can't tell, is a dude going by the name of Sarah McBride. The transgender representative says Trump should stop. Trump should quit pretending to be a cowboy because she hates when people act like something they're not.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Hang on. All right, just got a text back from my daughter. I need to talk about this in a minute. Is that the last one? That's the last one. So I have to hand it to the council members that showed up tonight, 3 of them, which is enough to hold a quorum and pass the new utility bills. No matter how hard our city clerk pushed to go, because they were saying, "Hey, we need this," and so she had the on the public on the posting for for the public comment. She put in 40% as a rate, fully expecting to be well below that. The city council said, "Well, for the water, we're going 40%," and her eyes got well. And then and they 40% you, 40% you, 40%. Sewer. Well, we're going to double the cost of inflation time. We're going to take it up. She wanted to decrease it so the bill be offset a little bit. No, we're increasing sewer too, because they saw the they go, screw the people. They can't if they're being whiny about it. You cannot be able to please everyone, so screw them, make them bite the bullet. And they increased it 7.5%. And then they increased the garbage. Well, right now we're at $20 is keeping us on whether or not we're making or losing money on the garbage, and the city council raised it up $1. And so they raised it up $1. So it went from $130 per month. And so it's going to take a couple things because they're going to do a read-in next. And do a read-in in May for it to take effect June 1st. The new rate is going to be $159. So they kicked it up $29 per household for sewer, water, and garbage increase, which is still way below what's going to happen if they said it's going to take about 2 years to find out if they get a new water grant from the state of Idaho, DEQ. And so if they get the grant approved by DEQ, the rates will have to go up a bunch more. So basically they took it up to the water, they took it up to $91 a month for the water bill. However, DEQ's current ratings is like, no, you're supposed to be at 98. But they didn't go that high in the public comment meetings. That was still 7%. Hey, DEQ says we need to be at 98, but we're still trying to get grants. Until we get a grant, we can stay below that 98. But if we get a grant, they're going to make us raise water and sewer to $98 a month. So it'll be 100 and sorry, my brain just froze here on 2 times 98. 16. So it'll be 196 plus $21 for so it'll be over $200 if we get a water grant to do stuff.
I was saying 196 like 10 times. I realized I was on mute. I'm like, why is he not listening to me?
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so it's, and we got so many whiners. So why are we having to raise it anyway? Still, it's like, because we're losing money. Our little itty bitty rainy day account is going to get flushed down the toilet really quick. We have to start replacing stuff, because they were telling them today again, the next pump that we the lift pump for the sewer is going to be $25,000 to replace. The flow meters, we got to install 3 flow meters, state required by law, on the well water, and those are $8,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
That's not maintenance. That's coming into compliance. And Brian this last week was at big conference back in Boise, and there were, every city in Boise had people there, small towns, whatever, and even some HOAs. What rabbit hole were we going down? We were getting the new budget passed at City Hall. Anyways, he said every city is going through the same thing, and someone goes, "Well, Idaho Falls isn't going through that," and everyone else was just rolling their eyes there. It's like this, and the attorney spoke up. This is not a public comment section time. This is they're doing it. You're just here to listen. You're not supposed to. We can't ask questions. He goes, "No, you can't ask questions." Public comment was last month. This is them deciding on it. And she kind of put her in her place. And so anyways, and Brian went through the thing explaining there are cities that are exactly the same way Basalt is. Others are worse off because they're a little bit smaller. Instead of having 156 accounts open, houses, hooked up, they have only like 75, but they got to have the infrastructure, the same size infrastructure we do. So their bills are up even higher. And some of them have been doing the same thing, kicking the can down the road for decades and not doing cost of living increase every year like they're supposed to. The problem is if we were to go, the city was go. This has happened already to one city here in Idaho. Island Park was going bankrupt. The state came in, fine, we're taking it over. We've dissolved the city council. We've unincorporated the city. You're now this, and now your rates are now, boom, up here. Yeah. UPS is
implementing 8% temporary price increase. Oh, they did that before, and it turned permanent because of the fuel. It never goes away.
Yeah.
My company does the same thing. Oh, due to raising fuel prices, we have to increase our prices temporarily until the price comes back down, and then we forget about it and they leave it there.
Yeah. So, get that out of the way there. All right. Yeah. But it was going across, and they said Boise's going through the same thing. Meridian, Nampa, other big cities and stuff are all going through the same crunch. The only thing is, and the lady was partially right. Idaho Falls rate is not quite that high, but you want to put in a new house? Oh my God, the fees
Oh yeah,
they charge are insane because basically they're making them pay a 20-year investment fee at the beginning into their treatment plant for sewer and water. And that's, our fee for someone doing that is currently is, I think it's like $7,000 is all the fee is, or the hookup fee for Idaho Falls. $25,000 hookup fee for water. $25,000 hookup fee for
nobody's
sewer.
building there anymore.
Well, they're still building like nuts.
Well, they're building, but they're not selling. That's another story.
Oh, they're selling. Problem is, unfortunately, they're selling to a bunch of wing nuts moving in from Oregon and Washington. But yeah, so our and then he was saying that some of the big wigs they brought in, or just like big brains they brought in, engineers talking about it. They were also talking about Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Mississippi, the Midwest is even worse off than Idaho is. So yeah, there's and they're expecting because this year to be a bigger drought across the U.S. this summer. Not as many summer rainstorms. But yeah. So, and right now, with the fact that our city council put on their big boy pants and cast iron underwear and said, boom, we're biting the bullet. We're going to do this. And we'll see what everyone cry. And now it's going to be, I know it's going to come up next month. They didn't want to talk about it this month, but they're going to direct the city clerk to look into all available grants and stuff for elderly citizens on limited budgets to help where there's money
fixed income,
to pay part of their water bill. Yeah. But yeah, they're finally doing this. Like, okay, yeah, because I went back and looking at it when we bought the property across the street in 2016. It was 120, 117 for the utilities. All right, so that's been 9 years. And we've been at 130 now for a year and a half because they tried to do a catch up a while ago. But they didn't do it every freaking year like they're supposed to be doing it. Well, now we got a mayor saying, no, we need a reason. We need every year. He goes, every year. Oh, but we don't want to do them every year. Every year. And city council going, oh, yeah, good. We got a leader here. and the city council's pushing on now every year. The one city council member that was always voting no against it had to retire.
Oh, we could do it every other year. We're just going to make it double every other year. So instead of going up $50, it's going up $100 or 200 or 500.
Yeah, and so every year we are going to go up, going forward at the budget hearings, 4.99%. Because then we don't have to have a public hearing notice on it. They can just do it. That's under the 5%.
Under 5%.
Yeah. So basically, we should be, in 2.5 years, that will be almost 10% increase, which will bring us up to the point that where we are at, where the state wants us to be at, so we can get grant money to do water and sewer projects without having to pass a special resolution to increase again, or at least on the water side. But yeah, so yeah, folks, get involved with your city. If you're not in the city, if you're in the county, your counties. With your counties, local government, city, local county, whatever government, and show up all the time. We had a fair number of people in there again, and it was fairly crowded, but we also had, a couple of them going, why are we doing this? And finally, when Brian got that explaining the monies, well, what about this? It's going to cost us, $16,000 a year just to maintain the pumps. How many pumps do we have? Well, let's see. We got 5 pumps that are part of the system, plus a 6th pump, which is a very expensive pump, which is for the fire system. Basically, we have a fire and they open up a fire hydrant. That bad boy kicks in to maintain the pressure for using multiple hydrants. But yeah, and she finally shut up then. It's like, yeah. And this is going to happen every year from now on out. We are not kicking the can down the road. We are being required by the state to do maintenance yearly. And we can rotate our pumps. So do one year, one the next year, one the next year, one the next year, and then start over again. And so that gives them, 6 years of rotating pumps, and they're starting back over again. Well, still, it's going to be $16,000 a year to do full maintenance on the pumps, the controllers, the SCADA units for each pump. People don't understand what you need to keep a city running. Yeah, I know, Kaylin, I know California has board of supervisors. Here they have county commissioners, not county supervisors. So here we got county commissioners. In Louisiana, they got parish commissioners or supervisors. So yeah. But yeah, it's, so either you're a commissioner or a supervisor or some other funky name, but basically same thing. It's an elected position on it. So yeah, that's what happened here tonight. What else was there? Yeah, it was mainly the water bill and sewer bill, and garbage pickup. And of course, why, if it's only costing us $20, why do we want to raise it to $21? Because it usually takes us 3 months to get it through the rate increase after we get dinged with the new rate increase. This way we have a buffer so we're not losing money. And they've been losing money on garbage for the last 15 years.
Well, nobody wanted to raise the prices.
The thing is, though, the city has a contract with the garbage company.
I'm just being a smarty pants.
I know, no, you're right. And that's the and they're saying, and they're like, we have a contract. We don't control it. They do. And so, yeah, which I think is great. And so what's going to be interesting is come October, November, I think is when we should see the next increase. Hopefully Alan and Laura are there. All right. I propose we do have a public hearing on raising the garbage up another $1 because they just raised it on us $1 now. Unfortunately, because that dollar is, shoot, hang on, let me pull up my calculator so I can get this right. It's well above the thing. So you got 1 equals, yeah. Oh, guess what? They won't have to. If they want to raise it $1 in November, that's only 4.7%. That's under the 5% now.
Oh, great. Raise it $1.03. Keep them guessing.
No, those raise it $1, unless, of course, because of the fuel increase, the garbage truck raised it more than $1.
Well, raise it up to the 4.99% and try to play catch up.
And the things if they do it instantly, we're not falling behind because we fell behind for 4 months before they finally voted on it last time. So yeah. The nitrate removal system ran nearly every day last month. It's expensive to run and maintain. Yeah. And because it's a filter system.
Got to change them.
Got to change those filters out.
And you got to dispose of the other ones. You can't just throw them in a trash can.
Yeah.
It winds right back up in the water again. Much fun.
Or unless if they happen to have one of those high intensity incineration systems that they also use to generate power with, those are cool, but they're expensive to build. But once they're running, they throw all sorts of garbage in there, blowers and stuff, and they just incinerate. They can incinerate hazardous material and have it be clean particles coming out because it just totally breaks everything down because it's so friggin'
breaks it back down to its elemental values.
Yes. And
but the CO2 coming out of it. What do we do with that?
There ain't no CO2. It's CO.
Or just carbon.
It'll be carbon. Carbon gets burnt up, so it'll be CO. It'll be nitrogen. It'll be but it comes out nice. But yeah, the water treatment plants in the California Valley, Central Valley, they're all filters because they have to. You have to filter it out by medium, not by
it's not just cotton fibers that filter out particulate.
But it can't do the pressure release system all right. So for the Martinez water treatment plant has the pressure stuff that removes certain heavy metals and most of the minerals and stuff. And so basically you see these, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's a pressurization system. And then the final thing you see of the discharge is like a big, huge roller about 10-foot diameter, and it's slowly turning, and it's got like a blade on a paving roller, and it's just scraping the stuff off, and it goes in a pile, and they, okay, so and it's like very, very thin of stuff, and it just kind of peels off like pasta, like a pasta roller, and it goes 24/7. And it's it's not, you can see it's just the drums moving very, very freaking slowly. You got to stand there for half an hour just to watch a little piece flake off. But yeah, it's insanely engineered to do this where they're not using filters. Fortunately for the Martinez water system and the Contra Costa County water district, they don't the water they're getting isn't contaminated with nitrates, so they're lucky on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
If you can get it.
My nephew got a job as an inspector with the East Bay Municipal Utility District, East Bay MUD, and as an inspector for them. He was a superintendent for Mountain Cascade Construction, and he's the retirement there is not to dance for, but he works year round. He's not getting his butt beat to death doing physical labor, even as a superintendent. The superintendents out there would work for the construction company, and even a lot of them even were operating engineers, but they didn't. He's not having to do that. He just goes around and does inspections and stuff. And he's still saying when he's 5 years from his retirement date, he's going to go back in as an operating engineer because he has his time locked in, and he'll do 5 years just as an operating engineer and then retire, because that'll build up his retirement just that much more to give him a nice retirement. And when I worked for the same company, I had so I'm doing the math in my head here, trying to remember. So I had 12 years on their retirement plan. In 12 years, I had over $500,000 in my retirement. And I tried when I retired, I tried to pull some of that. Oh man, yes, Staff Sergeant. Yes, Staff Sergeant Campbell. Yes. Yeah, I was told not to touch that till she retires too. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, we've been done for up for how long we've been up for?
Hour and 10 minutes. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, time to wrap it up tonight. Tomorrow over on Camp Patton, the topic for tomorrow night is how city civil unrest impacts rural areas. Saturday night here on Gray Man Prepping is after the gold and silver are confiscated, what are your plans? Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, we have author Pascal Balder coming in. That's going to be a really good one to do that. Next Tuesday is, are you romanticizing disasters? And that's what's coming up for the next week.
Yay, end of the world. Yay. I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow over on Camp Patton Family Compound.
Yeah. Have a good night.